Hello fellows, I'm Raul and I'm going to present you a Playmate from Burson. That's an audio combo device. It's actually a DAC, digital audio converter, like a sound card, and with a very powerful headphones amplifier inside, able to output about 2 watts per channel. It's silver polished. This is how it looks like. There is a rotary knob. It's completely digital, the volume. There is a pause, actually mute. There is also power button. You have RCA output to connect to amplifier. It could be a power amplifier or an amplifier that already has a preamp. It really doesn't matter because the output can actually be controlled from the rotary knob. You just need to get into the menus here, you see, and you choose if you want to use the preamp or not, if you want to use the headphones or not. So it is configurable. You can also configure the digital filters, and you can pair it from the Molex, from your computer power supply if you want to, or you can use the low noise power adapter that comes with Burson Playmate. I personally recommend to use the built-in power adapter because it's really low noise, it doesn't generate much heat, and it's simply safer this way. But of course you can use the Molex if you wanna get it inside computer's case. You can use the Molex as well. It's just some noises may appear. It really depends if your computer's power supply is noisy or not. I'm going to open it up a little bit and see what's inside. That is the Everest Playmate. It used to be $100 more expensive than the black one. I don't know if it's because of the special polished or because of opamps configuration. By opamps configuration I mean V6 classics, 2 dual classics, and input stage, and on the head amp and low pass filter there are a couple of V6 V-Vides. Okay, I'm opening it up for you so you don't need to do it. Okay, these are pretty warm to touch, but not the power transistors. As you can see, there are 8 huge power transistors in TO220Ks. TO220Ks, it's quite a big one, so there should be a lot of heat generated because it's class A. Entire case acts as a heatsink. These can actually dissipate much more heat, so this is somehow an overkill transistor. You shouldn't be using usually in a headphones amplifier, but Burson loves to do things. I mean, they usually provide more power than needed, and the devices are more powerful than we actually need. That means that it's not gonna break, at least not the transistors. These are extremely powerful. You could probably get 10, maybe 20 watts per channel with proper amplification, or if someone will actually like to do it yourself project on its own, like amplifying speakers, of course not with Playmate. So what I'm trying to say is that these transistors can actually drive speakers, and the fact that Burson included in the Playmate, that's overkill, and I actually love the idea. We have here several ELNA capacitors, these here, ELNAs. Sorry about the light, it's from the top. We have the USB XMOS chip. This is the XMOS, and we also have an ADC converter for the microphone. Yes, we actually have the possibility to connect the microphone and use it as a regular sound card. We have an USB-C. I don't know how it works. If you want to test it, you should probably read Burson's documentation. I've seen people that were able to do that and connect the Burson Playmate on the computer, but I don't have one with an USB-C, so I don't want to test this right now. Okay, so 4 V6 opamps, 2 of them are classics, and the other 2 are V-Wides. Several ELNA capacitors. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 smaller transistors used probably as preamplification, and 8 transistors, big ones for headphones amplifier. It's gonna kick the bass out. Yep. Let's see if I can play it out. Okay, so I'm listening to Camarero. That's a song with plenty of bass and voice, women voice, and of course trebles and clarity. The level is 37 right now. $30. Now at 60, I cannot put my ears on the headphones. It's pretty high. Now the volume is pretty huge. I don't recommend anyone to actually increase the volume higher than 60 with Hifiman HE-560 model. That's a huge amount of power. You're gonna get depth if you're actually listening to this amount, so please take care. I was doing this test just to see how much power this amplifier has inside. I strongly recommend you to start with volume level of 20, maybe 30 at most, if you don't know the sensitivity of your headphones. I'm gonna stop the music right now, and I'm gonna do something that is quite important when you wanna test an amplifier. I have here a digital multimeter. It's set on millivolts. I don't like the wiring here, but however, hey, come here, get here to the I'm going to measure the output DC. This is very important measurement. You can see that the right channel has about minus 1.7 millivolts, and the other channel, the left one, has about half, minus 0.8 millivolts. Usually, when a headphone amplifier has less than 3 millivolts, not 0.8 or 1, that means that it is about perfect, or at least very well done, because injecting DC voltage into headphones might damage them. I'm speaking about 200 or 300 millivolts, so anything lower than 3 millivolts is about perfect. As you can see, we have 1.8, and now it's 1.2. Everything depends on how heat is actually the opamps, how much heated up they are. I mean, in the beginning, like in the first minute or the first couple of minutes, the opamps are not heated enough, and probably the DC would be like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, I don't know how many millivolts, but this doesn't matter. It's a class A, and as it gets heated up, the output DC will actually decrease. As you can see, it's pretty close to zero, between 0 and 1 millivolt or something, and that's almost non-existent. I left the power, I left the sound. I mean, it is Burson sound. I'm going to close it right now. There is a power button here. Disconnect the wiring and try to assemble it. Okay. You can actually see the Burson quality, and you do realize that this device was meant to be easily opened, so anyone can, you know what, roll opamps. Rolling opamps is such fun. Can be such fun for most of us. I don't recommend rolling the default Everest opamps, because you don't know how the DC will actually change. I mean, this is the default combination that is like guaranteed by Burson that will sound perfect and will probably measure perfect as well. So swapping opamps with unknown ones, and I don't know, maybe not being able to measure the output DC might not be the best idea. So I totally recommend the Everest combination of opamps, which is 2 V6 dual opamps in IV stage, the classics in IV stage, and the V5s in low pass and headphones amplification stage. I'm going to show you the menu. You have 3 inputs. There is USB from the back, the optical, which is in the back, and the USB from the front, which is actually the USB-C. USB front, USB from the back side, which is a regular USB port, and the optical. I'm going to let that on. USB from the back. There's headphones output and the preamp. The preamplifier output is actually to be used with an external amplifier for speakers, or external amplifiers for headphones as well. You will be using the rotary knob to adjust the power on the outputs. I suggest you an output level somewhere between 70 and 80 to get 2 volts RMS on the output. I'm going to leave it on headphones out. You can choose between high output power, the headphones, or low. I'm listening to planars and I will leave it on high. You have several filters here to set up. MP fast, LP slow, etc. I'm going to leave it the default, MP fast. If there's something to be changed, that's the emphasize. If I remember correctly, when I got the device from Burson, emphasize was set on and I felt sort of a roll off. It's probably okay if you are using bright headphones, but if you want to listen with regular headphones, then I strongly recommend you to not set it on. So emphasize should be left on off unless you really want to change this setting and to have a little bit of trebles roll off. Pressing the knob will actually mute the sound. It is logarithmic, digital, and just take care because it's really powerful. When you if you don't know the sensitivity of your headphones, just leave it on the 20, maybe 30 at most, and give it a listen. If it's too loud, lower the volume. If it is too high, if it is too low, then you could probably increase it, but not to the 80 like I did. Let me close the device to power it off. You could actually see the analog output, the power button. Then this is the Molex to be connected to computer's internal PSU if needed, but I do strongly recommend to use the power supply provided by Burson because it is really ripple free and low noise device. That's the optical input and the regular USB plug, to connect it to regular computer. Well, I love the device. I love the sound. Give it a listen. If you like it, then of course feel free to purchase it. Happy listening. Bye bye.